Alright guys, welcome back. So we're continuing along with Megaman Wave 2, and today we'll be taking a look at Cutman. Now Cutman, he did have some figures. I believe it was Sentinel created a version of Cutman as well. So he actually might be one of the very few robot masters to actually have prior figures done of them. So that's pretty cool. Really happened to have this Jada Toys version, though I don't think I could have afforded the Sentinel one. And that is probably quite high in price now on the secondary market. I'm really excited for the future of this line as well, because upcoming they're going to be having Woodman, Bubbleman, and the unhelmeted Megaman, and he's supposed to be coming with a Met as well. So that'll be the first small enemy type to add to this display. So this line I could foresee being extremely cool coming down the line. So try to get on board if you're a Mega Man fan for sure. But without further ado, let's take a closer look at Cutman. So in the package, you're going to get the figure himself, you're going to get a display stand, you're going to get the scissors for the top of his head, you're going to get a hand for holding that scissor, you're going to get an open gesture hand, and an alternate head sculpt. Alright, so let's take a closer look at Cutman. But I think before we start, I'm just going to take the liberty of plugging this into his head, because he just doesn't look right without it. And now he looks like Cutman. So I will mention, however, that on this blade there is a blemish that came on mine. The other side looks pretty good, so I think we'll be leaving it on that side for now on. The face sculpt is really well done, as Jada usually does. Really well painted. Nothing looks like it missed or anything. And of course, as you've come to expect, on the back there are details going on. Painted up that little box and stuff there. Little vents. It looks really cool. I haven't noticed anything sloppy on this one, which is a relief. There's one thing I'll mention though, and I'm not sure if you see that there's a big gap right in between this, so I don't think that this thing was fitted to wasn't fitted properly, because there is a gap on the back as well. So that could be a bit of an eyesore for some. I myself not too bothered by it. The arms, I still continue to like how they did the body in a matte color, and then all the parts that are meant to be like armored, like the helmet and the gauntlets and the boots and stuff, they're all in a shiny shiny plastic, so that gives you a sort of a armored effect. There is airbrushing, very light orange over the darker orange there. It's kind of hard to see because the orange itself is pretty light, but it is there. More noticeable when you have it in hand. I like how the little gray at the neck there. Yeah, he looks really good. And they did paint the... Oh, he doesn't have red. He has like orange boosters at the bottom of the feet now. So that's pretty cool. And the little ends in gray, and as well as the knees. Really does look really cool. So getting right into the articulation on Cutman. Much the same. He has that ball joint that is attached to the hinge. And there's also a hinge down at the bottom of the neck, which is usually kind of tight, so you have to kind of work it to get it moving, like that. So then once you have everything operational, you can actually look up pretty well as look down, tilt, and rotate. His shoulders go up about this far, sit about this much down, they rotate. The elbows do have a swivel, and they bend a little bit better than 90. The wrists do have a swivel and a hinge. I find on this figure that the fists are a little bit loose on this side. Not too bad, it doesn't fall out or anything. The torso has a ball joint and the waist also has a ball joint, so together in tandem they give you about this much crunch forward, quite a lot of arch back, and it does tilt from side to side. The legs kick forward about this far, back about this far. It does do almost full splits. The knees I wish could have been double jointed, and I keep saying that, but it does give you a little bit better than 90. The ankles, and it does swivel here, I should have mentioned that. It does have a swivel there, and it does have a thigh cut. The ankles do go forward about this far, back about this far, and it does have the nice rocker there. So I know we've run through the articulation many times, and it's all the same on most of the ones or all of them we've seen so far, but I still like to run through it nonetheless, because this might be your first video of mine you're watching, and who wants to go back to an older video to watch articulation? Not I. So getting right into his accessories, let's just quickly take another look at the scissors itself. This is actually articulated, so that's pretty cool, and it does have a little slight blemish there. It seems to be gray or something underneath, and it seems they just painted on a metallic color. If you look closely, you could actually see that the peg has gotten the paint scraped off on it from going into the head there, which is not ideal. But nonetheless, it does look pretty good. And it can be positioned however you wish. He does come with that open gesture hand, which goes on the left side. He does come with that right hand, which is able to hold the scissors. And then he does come with the alternate head sculpt, which is really nice. You can actually see they sculpted all inside the mouth, tongue there. Unfortunately, this head also has the same problem where they didn't seem to fit the white piece in too well, because there's a gap here and there's a gap here. So not too thrilled about that, but nonetheless, simply pop off the head and pop in the new one. It's kind of stiff, probably needs to work around a little bit. So the back of the head does have the same sort of details, little buttons there and the vents, so that's pretty nice, and also the airbrushing. So with the hand, the scissors, and the head sculpt, this was my best attempt at trying to recreate this box pose there. It sort of had to lean that scissors all the way to the side as far as it could go and tilt the head, but somehow we got there. The arm just isn't tall enough, or long enough, sorry, to reach that head comfortably. One thing I will say is you need to heat up this hand, because it's very tight to get these scissors in there, and if it scrapes up against the plastic, it's going to scrape off that metallic paint. So be very careful with that. Heat up this and pull the thumb away, maybe even put something inside to sort of widen it. But yeah, just be wary of that. So Cutman does come with a unique display stand, and his does have like a little groove at the top, and that is of course meant for holding the scissors. But much like the hand, just be careful putting this in there. I wouldn't advise putting it too far down to prevent any sort of scratching of the paint. Once you attach the scissor to the stand. You could then bring in Cutman and do a nice little photo like this. So for height, Cutman stands about 4¼ as is usual for the Megaman guys. But to the top of the scissors, he's about 5½ inches. Here he is next to his wavemate Electman. Here he is next to Iceman. Here he is next to Fireman. And here he is next to Megaman. Here he is next to Premium DNA Earthworm Jim. Here he is next to Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Ken. Here he is next to CT Toys Brown Suited Wolverine. Here he is next to NECA Mirage Donatello. And then finally here he is next to Marvel Legends Ant-Man. So in closing, I think it's another nice release from Jada Toys. Not perfect by any means. I think the paint that it chose to use for the scissors scrapes off very easily. And I don't think it was a good choice to put that. They should have done it in, just done it in like a metallic plastic, or even if you couldn't do that, just do a basic silver. But the fact that the paint scrapes off kind of easily will make you need to be a little bit more wary of putting it into his hand. So make sure and heat up that hand. You certainly don't want to scrape the paint. And the other thing is the, I guess you could call it the crest on the helmet, seems to not be properly fitted, so there's a gap on either end of it. Not sure what went on there, but hopefully we don't see too many more issues on the Jada Toys figures. Really like them, so I always like to have positive things to say, but I always have to mention the negatives as well. This is a review after all. Beyond that, there isn't too much else that negative to mention. The paint is really nice. What's there? The airbrushing really subtle though, because of the bright orange it's barely noticeable, but you do see it under the light. And yeah, really happy to add this one to the collection as well. So hopefully this review has helped anybody who was on the fence about getting this. I got this on Big Bad Toy Store and the retail price is $19.99. And until next time guys, y'all take care.